Alright, thanks, Clyde. I think that's all I'm gonna need for, right now. Oh, hello, everyone. Hello, Clyde. Hello, everyone. I was just over here working with Clyde, getting some emeralds. For today's project, I'm gonna need a beacon. And so, let's see what I've gathered here. Looks like we should have just about enough at this point. And yeah, we do. Excellent. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and borrow the 2 skulls that we have here in Clyde's cave. And then we just need to go out and get 1 more. So I'll go ahead and do that. But first I want to take care of something. Last episode, we had some name suggestions for Clyde's partner here. And to be fair, the way I want to do it is randomly. All right, so I made a dropper here. Got 2 name suggestions, so I put them both on a piece of paper in here, and this way we get a random generation. So what is it? Cletus. We're gonna go with Cletus for Clyde's partner here. What do you think about that one, Clyde? All right, bud. All right, so let me get a name tag for Cletus here. I bestow upon you the name Cletus. It's nice to finally address you by name, Cletus. This name suggestion came from our friend Ultra Ramage. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, go ahead and check it out. He's got some really cool building on there. Really recommend it. And what we'll do is we'll save the other name suggestion up in this dropper for future naming. Just kind of throw it into a collection, and that way when we get other recommendations, we can throw them in there and randomly pull a name out, and that will help us name the rest of our villagers. These guys are driving me nuts. All right, time to head out to the Nether Fortress and get our last skull. That way we can get our beacon and get our project for today underway. Here we go. And the plan for today is to take on the Wither. And instead of cheesing the Wither for my first battle, I want to go ahead and fight it legit. So I've thought about potentially where we could put the battle. I'm going to have probably somewhere in the overworld, above ground, maybe out in the desert, somewhere expansive like that. That way we have plenty of room to have an epic fight. Then once we have our beacon, we're going to go ahead and move on to the project for today, which is putting in our storage building. As mentioned in the previous episode, I've started accumulating resources on a level that's a little too big for our current storage system. So I want to go ahead and get in a custom storage. There's going to be a lot of digging ahead of us today, and so... Ah, darn. I'll sit here until I get a Wither Skull, and then we can start getting supplies ready and talking about our planned battle with the Wither. Gotcha, sucker. Hey, that didn't take very long at all. Ta-da! All right, so that ended up being a lot easier than I was expecting. Let's go ahead and grab these other 2. Got all 3 of these. And so what I'm going to want for the Wither fight today is I'm going to need some potions of strength for smacking that bad boy down. And we're going to want some potions of regeneration. So in order to get the potions of regeneration, we're going to need a few gas tiers. In order to get the potions of strength, we're going to need a little blaze powder. Let me go ahead and gather that up, brew those potions up, and then we'll go pick a spot to have our epic battle. The last thing that I want to grab here, now that I've got my potions, is I want to grab some buckets of milk to help get rid of the wither effect while we're in the midst of battle. So So hopefully 3 of everything will do us just fine here, but here's what we've got collected up. So we've got our emeralds to power the beacon. This is to pay the cost of activating the beacon. We've got our potions of regeneration here, our potions of strength, and some potions of healing, as well as our 3 wither skulls and 4 pieces of soul sand here. We're all geared up, got all our supplies ready to go. Now it's just time to pick a location. I think I want to check out the desert as far as our location for battle. I think it's going to give us a nice wide open expanse and plenty of room for destruction without having to worry too much about losing things rather important to us. Let's go ahead and take a flight. Get some height here and try and pick out a good location. I do want to steer clear of this village here. So maybe we'll go out this direction a bit. Yeah, this looks like a good location here. Why don't we go ahead and put the big boy up here? Maybe we'll have an epic air battle. And that being said, I think another thing that I should have plenty of is rockets. Let's go ahead and just pile up on some rockets here. I set up a little base camp of operations out here. Hopefully a stray wither skull doesn't come flying over here and blow up our bed or our ender chest here. But worst case scenario, if we end up perishing. Oh, turning to nighttime. If we end up perishing, we'll spawn over here. We can grab a new elytra, some new rockets, go fly back and get right back into the battle. So I want to go ahead and make sure that spawn is set. Time of day be damned. Weather be damned as well. Rain or shine, we're going to battle. And here we go. All right. Time to dive bomb down back to the world, see if we can't find that star. That was a hell of a dogfight up there, huh? Ta-da! I'm glad we found that. I was a little worried there for a second. Woo! We did it. Got our nether star here. Now it's time to get to the rest of the episode. So I'm going to go ahead and head on back to base. We're going to set up our beacon and I'll show you the dig site for our storage system. And here we are. I spent the last couple of nights gathering up some supplies that I thought I would need. What all these chests are doing here. But the plan is, we got our beacon up there as well. We're going to bore into the mountain here, kind of carve out a nice cave entrance here, and then I'm going to carve out a large cavern on the inside, and we're going to turn it into a geode. And I'm throwing some reference images up on screen now for, kind of what I've seen in the real world as inspiration. But we've got, some supplies here. Supplies here. I went and ripped out plenty of geodes and made up a bunch of chests. I think there's nothing left but to get to it. What I'm going for here is that I want to treat this almost like the villagers from our village over there bored into the mountain here to try and create a mine. And I want to keep their tunnel that they created to be kind of like a structured, squared off shape, much like, we tend to do as humans. And then once we break into the actual cavern itself, everything that the villagers have created will continue with this kind of uniformity. But the geode, being a natural born shape, will be a little more wonky and not so clear cut, emphasizing its natural state. Okay. Now, I don't want this entrance to be too far in before we actually break out into the cavern. The reason for that is I want you to be able to see kind of a sneak peek. If you were walking by, I want you to kind of see that there's a cavern opening up in the tunnel without actually having to go down in there. I'm going to build kind of like an egg shape for the geode itself, and then I want to have a donut kind of pathway walking around. So let me kind of mark out my measurements as far as the pathway goes, and then I'll start breaking out kind of the chaotic shape of the actual geode. All right, so we've made some progress here. As you can see, I kind of carved into the mountainside here. I've just thrown in some brief little measurements for me. I'm going to detail all this up later. But this is kind of what I was talking about as far as like you could walk by and kind of see that there's a big cavern in there because these sections will be carved out. Yeah, you'll see later on. But we come down in here. I marked out my measurements for the walking path around. And I was having a hell of a time trying to get the measurements to line up mathematically. So I ended up having to do everything manually and dragging out like the center in different directions. Another thing I noticed that's kind of weird here is that this kind of looks like a circle. But what the hell? It's not at all. It's very like ellipse shaped. So this is I don't know, a weird little optical illusion, Michael, in here. But I wanted to pop in, show you the measurements that I got, and now I'm gonna move on to kind of carving out the geode, get a natural, weird, bulbous, I don't know, shape going on, and we're gonna bore down into the ground as well. So, I don't know, enjoy that time lapse. Check this out. We got this stuff dug out a bit. I decided to switch this design up a little bit. And as far as the chains that are up here, I did some testing, and it looks like villagers can't fit under here. So this will prevent them from falling in the gaping hole that we have here. So this is the space I'm clearing out for the geode to take place. And what we're going to do now is every block that you see, every surface that you see is going to be swapped out for an amethyst block. But I wanted to show, this is kind of what I was talking about with like an organic shape to contrast this like uniformity that we have with the actual building. I did some dovetailing here, try and give the impression of added structural support. And we're going to have the wooden beams kind of boring into the crystal. So, time to get the swapping. Come take a look at how this is turning out. This is freaking cool looking.
Wow.
Look at that. And this is also without all the details of crystals being put in. And in addition to that, I'm thinking of running a few veins of like gold through here. There's a weird glitch that appears there. As well as, you know, we're going to need to make kind of like the outside of the geode for this entrance here, because this would be like where they broke through. But I just wanted to show how this is coming along. I think this is absolutely gorgeous here, although I've created a bit of a mob farm for the time being. Once we get the actual crystals in, rather than just the amethyst blocks, it does create a little bit of lighting, and it should help prevent this mess. But I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to start replacing all the blocks down here. Oh boy, just him off. Where you at, buddy? Come on, you bastard. There we go. All right, yeah, I'm going to get back to replacing blocks, and wow. I don't know, I'm just amazed so far. Wanted to pop back in here before I got into the crystal adding portion of this and just kind of show off. I managed to break into a natural aquifer over here. So we have a little more water flow. And if we jump down, like this guy real quick. What I kind of went for here was like the water's kind of draining, almost like you see off in the glaciers. They just kind of fall into a chasm. So from up above, I wanted it to kind of almost disappear. I did fully crystal everything out. I do have this habit of kind of like, I guess, overextending my work by not really making facades, so to speak. I try to actually cover all the surfaces and make sure that the world's more immersive. I did think about coming in here and maybe doing a shell, almost like this was a burst out of the amethyst geode, in case people decide to jump down here and dive around. I don't know, maybe I'll hide some stuff back here for that map download someday. Again, I want to encourage you guys when we do the map download to be able to explore and find cool little hidden gems, little notes, whatever. I don't know, I think that'd be kind of fun. So I'm going to start putting in some crystals, which should help light this area up and probably prevent some mob spawns moving forward. I think before adding the crystals, I'm going to go ahead and add in the gold streaks, the gold veins, because yeah, I don't know. I came up with an idea. I have one kind of reference picture that really stood out to me. I'll put that on screen now, where you can end up with some gold flecks inside of the amethyst crystals. And I don't know. I'll show you my iteration of it. I did embellish a little bit with some artistic flair. So it's not done, but I wanted to show off how things are looking at this point. I feel like I need to go gather some more gold. This is how it got implemented. Kind of like a vein that popped up. And I tried to cover it with this white glass. Gives it kind of a crystal feeling instead of just being exposed gold ore. The only way to get these gold ore blocks here is to physically mine them. There's no way of farming them, so it's been kind of difficult to gather these, considering the recent change in mining levels and such. It's been pretty uncommon for me to find gold ore in the quantities that I need in order to make these veins. So I think I'm going to go out mining some more, see if I can't come up with more gold ore. But I think this is coming along pretty dang well. I also decided to scatter around the chests. I didn't end up going with a uniform factor on them. I figured it would make more sense at this point that we would have to kind of conform with the natural geometry of the geode at this level. And I tried to leave a space in front of all the chests so I can put down either an item frame or slap a block into the ground so I can kind of label my chest. But this is still a little bit preliminary. I'm not sure if this is kind of the layout things are going to end up in. It might be. Very well might be. Oh, I missed some chest here. But yeah, I don't know. Just wanted to check in. Give those little tidbits. I'm going to go mining. Huh. My elytra broke. Time to make my way back to the mesa. See if we can't find this corpse. I'm thinking with how often I die and, you know, how rare it is that I end up leaving my bed placed down, I should probably build a base at the world spawn, just a little camp or something like that that gives me access to an ender chest, so I don't have to make this long journey. Getting a little tired of making this long journey on foot at night with all these mobs out, and I got no armor and all that. So maybe I'll do that next episode or something like that. Sometime soon. This seems fitting. I'm cold and I'm hungry and I just want to sleep. The long, winding journey back to base. Yeah, we definitely need a base camp over there at World Spawn. Alright, we got all our stuff back. Got everything put away. I guess my elytra didn't break. I don't know what the hell happened. I'll have to watch the replay footage. I guess we'll learn together what ended up happening. I did come in pretty hot, but I was pulling up, so I should have been able to slow enough. I did land on a stalactite as well, and I know that that greatly increases the damage you end up taking, but I don't know. I'm alive now. Got all my stuff. No biggie. Look at these cursed things. That's pretty cool. If you find yourself needing a bunch of gold ore, I recommend you come to the Mesa biome. It's supposed to be far more likely to find gold here than other parts of the world. This is what we've collected, and I think this is going to do us just fine for finishing up the last couple of gold veins that I wanted to put in the amethyst crystal. Hell of a view from up here. Check that out. I love that little forest that I made there. Wow. All right, let's mine this up. Okay, you ready for the grand reveal? The final finished product? This So I did up the outside entrance just a little bit here, added in some bushes, some piles of dirt, roughed up the terrain just a little bit here. We've got this staircase down in. I textured up the walk path here, threw in some ores and just a little bit of chaotic fencing here, structural support. Did a gradient for the outside of the geode here. And this is what we're looking like on the inside. Ooh. So I've started to go around and kind of place in my labeling system for where things will be. But I think this turned out really well. That glitch is going to drive me mad. We've got our gold veins coming through here. I threw one up in the ceiling with that last batch of gold that we gathered. I think it turned out really well. As is typical when showing off gemstones, I have the uplighting going around the outer perimeter here. I think that adds a nice ambiance to the area. And looking down, this is what our hole looks like. And again, we will not have to worry about villagers wandering down to their deaths because for whatever reason, they cannot fit under this. Although I can, they cannot. It's pretty handy. That way we can keep it kind of open air like this, and we have a very nice unobstructed view down into our hole. But don't have to worry about those silly guys dropping on down there. I think this project turned out magnificent. I'm extremely happy with the finished product here. And I even made a little area over here for me to set up a bed and my necessities. I think this entrance turned out really well also. I like the gradient that I ended up doing. Adds a nice bit of depth when entering. Anywho, I think we're going to end up having to skip the episode maps today because we didn't do too much up on the surface. We did do a lot though. So I feel like, you know, that's good enough for one episode. I'm very happy with how today ended up. And just want to say I noticed that we're nearing the 100 subscriber mark. And so you guys will have to let me know down in the comments below when we hit that goalpost. What should we do? You know, what would you like to see? So comment down below what your suggestion is. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, I've got some big plans for next episode. It might end up taking me a bit longer, you know, than we'd like, but it's big plans, big plans. I'm very happy with today's episode, and I'm excited for the future. I want to say thank you to everyone that stuck around this far, and hopefully, you know, this episode turned out exciting for you as well. Woo! And don't forget to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and maybe share me with your friends if there's anybody that comes to mind, you know? But I appreciate your time, guys. You have a good day. I'll see you later. Stick around for the time lapse with shaders afterwards, huh? All right. Bye.